Stage lights cold as a winter rain. One breath, one prayer, then the world went strange. Crowd froze up when the thunder cracked. Truth on a mic and a life attacked. He talked about hope in a storming land. Bible in the heart and a promise in his hands. But a shadow reached from a coward's perch, cut down a son in the middle of church. And I swear if the tables turned the other way, y'all know there'd be fires in the streets today. But here we stand with candles and a folded flag, begging God for mercy on the road we drag. How dare they steal the breath from a faithful man? How dare they stain the grass where his boots once stand? They call us evil, point at our cross, then pull that trigger and reckon no cost. If it were theirs, there'd be sirens and flames, but we're praying for truth while we whisper his name. Charlie, we ain't letting go of your hand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Patel, FBI Director. We're here to brief you on the tragic events that happened today at approximately 2:15 local time in Washington, D.C., where two of our brave members of the National Guard and the Department of War were brazenly attacked in a horrendous act of violence. They were shot They're in critical condition. As you can see behind me, we have assembled the full force of both the federal and state and local law enforcement agencies to bring bear all of our resources to make sure we find the perpetrators responsible for this heinous act. And make no mistake, they will be brought to justice. Since this is an assault on a federal law enforcement officer, this will be treated at the federal level as an assault on a federal law enforcement officer. The FBI will lead out on that mission with our interagency partners, to include the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, ATF, DEA. And we're thankful for the mayor's assistance in this matter, the Metropolitan Police Department and their skills in investigating homicides and gun shootings in this.
Vote by phone. Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, our.
Well, good evening, everybody. Unfortunately, that was a sad way to start off the show on Thanksgiving Eve. But unfortunately, this is kind of breaking news. Unfortunately, I have the TV on, just sitting here kind of trying to pay attention. What happened, if you guys don't know, there was 2 National Guardsmen shot in Washington, D.C. by some bad dude. There's some pictures floating around on the internet. I don't feel comfortable putting them up because they're not verified from a pretty good source. But there was some live video, unfortunately, after this incident happened, that he was subdued by some other National Guards personnel, and he might have gotten some extra lead installed tonight. So, but he's still alive. They're still kind of saying the National Guardsmen are still alive. So we can't confirm or deny that one either. So we're just going to go with, we will find out. So I'm just sitting here that's why I have the TV on, just to see what's going on. Of course, JD Vance and everyone is kind of chimed in on this one. It's a horrendous act of terrorism on U.S. soil. There is no good day for this to happen. But let's think about this as probably very well thought out. And it was a day that they picked because if it comes out, the rumors, we're going to have some problems. And I cross my fingers for peace because, we don't want that to happen on U.S. soil. But enough is enough. How many people have to be taken from us until we say enough is enough? So, to keep kind of changing gears a little bit, we will have Caleb from one of our local kind of celebrities coming in at 8:15 via phone call. He lives out in Albion, but unfortunately he has he says he doesn't have good internet, so he'll just do a call. And let's talk about some training coming up. We got some good training coming up for getting these ballots under control. I know everybody poo-poos the mail-in ballots. I get it. Until we can change the governor, until we can change some votes and some of the down races, they're going to be here. So we have to make sure that Stacey Garrity gets elected. And of course, you can pretty much bet that the Democrats are going to come out full force to make sure Josh gets reelected. Because, Josh, as a governor, I'm telling you, stop the presses. He had some earth-shattering legislation just passed, and he is so proud. He was on TV, all over the internet, all over TikTok, and here is his new legislation. Shapiro signs the Crown Act. Now, I could have sworn the Democrats swore up and down, left and right, backwards and forward, that we don't have a king. But what does a king wear? A crown. So Shapiro signs Crown Act into law, prohibiting discrimination based on hair type, texture, or style. Guys, I can't make this up. I mean, this is a legitimate news piece that was absolutely out there, and he is just so excited about this. And he had all his golf people. Sandy, you're fine, sir. We're just chiming in. Sorry, light the barn, prepping for Snowmageddon Part 2, Thanksgiving hunting season. Right. Hey, Matt. Hey, Stan. Hey, hello, Miss Rose, Kim, of course, Lance, Bill. Everyone's kind of chiming in here. The channels are warming up. I wasn't sure how tonight was going to go. There's a lot of people that like to go out tonight because everyone's off tomorrow. I don't particularly like going out and dealing with all the intoxicated folks and all the idiots out there. I'd rather just stay home and, I don't know, watch Netflix. But it's Wednesday night, so I get to come in here and talk to you guys. If we get 20 people, we get 20 people. We get 200 people. Hey, that's even better. But Caleb will be in here. Ms. Sheridan, thanks for coming in. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, family and friends. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know. And of course he's just, everyone. Oh, he's gonna make a great president. Well, first of all, there's this thing called the primary. You have to win the primary first, and that's going to be what else? Dude, it's Joe. It is absolutely like that thick of shenanigans. All I know is it should have some clause in there for us graying, thinning older folks in there. But hey, it's yeah, imagine town. I don't go downtown. Going downtown to me is just nothing but trouble. You deal with the drunks. No thanks. I'd rather stay at home. There's nothing downtown to make me want to go down there tonight. I'd rather just stay home. Just stay home. I can talk with you folks. So it's kind of crappy out. Like Stan was talking about getting ready for Snowmageddon. We're probably going to get about an inch because they always do this to us. Every time they're, oh my God, the sky is falling. Here's your inch. Be quiet. They're like, oh, we're just going to get a light dusting. And you get 3 feet out at Stan's neck of the woods, So yeah, you want to go downtown, knock yourself out, dealing with drunk knuckleheads. That's fine. Oh, where's Hope? Oh, there's Hope. I'm sorry, lady, had to get the barn all closed up. Yeah, that's all right. We kind of like start the show off at, a little bit before 8. That way the intro comes in and the channels start lighting up. And you know what? If you want to see the beginning again, just go ahead and watch it. It's recorded. But yeah, JD Vance is talking about he said, yeah, JD Vance speaks to troops at Fort Campbell. So yeah, they're out there. And of course, the haters. I'm trying to be nice. We're supposed to be nice because it's the day before Thanksgiving. I was going to come on the show tonight, do all positive stuff. So what are we thankful for? And then this, terrorist has to be a terrorist. And of course, that's why they do what they do, is to terrorize people and to change their habits. It's just like after 9/11, people they didn't want to go anywhere. They didn't do anything. And now that we have, looks like I don't know, the communists are slowly, and socialists and fascists are all taking over. All right, well, sit back and relax, pull the pin, throw the grenade, and watch what's going on. So yeah, let's see. That's yeah, just play that Maxine Waters one. We got time. We got a couple minutes. So go ahead.
I am so pleased that Robert Garcia is here and the mayor is here. This is an important press conference that is being held to let you know what we're all doing, resisting this low-down, dirty, no-good, filthy president of the United States of America.
Well. It's funny. Both sides of the aisle say we have to turn down the rhetoric. We have to be calm. And we've got another video. One of our, I don't know if he was a state senator, congressman, whatever. He nails it. I mean, he nails it right out of the park. And we will absolutely have that. Like I said, Kale will come in here in a couple of minutes. And then he's got some kind of some stuff going on. If you folks don't remember Caleb, he's been on the show before. If you've been at any event around town, you have seen him. Early vote action. Nice guy, lives out in Albion. He works for Scott Pressler. They have a new gentleman coming on, Joe. I can never pronounce this. A good Cajun French name. He'll be working alongside Caleb and really pushing.
It's Livaday is his last name.
That's right, Livaday. Yeah, it's a good French name from down Louisiana. I think that's what he said. Yeah. But no, Joe will be working around. He's been helping out getting people registered to vote. We're actually talking to people about, getting ready to vote early because obviously we have a problem with people getting out and voting on election day because of this, that, and the other thing. Let's see. Nunzies is now an Air grocery store. CVS now becoming. Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that CVS on. I did see that on social media. Well, what do you expect? I mean, they've been importing them because they're they're just breeding them into control. Yeah, I got that. The 3 gas stations, Route 20 air. Well, that's fine. Hey, you know what? Come here and be something, but don't come here and just sponge off of it. That's what the majority of it is. It's just, they're coming in here to sponge off and get all the free stuff and just have 4 wives and breed a bunch of them. And, eventually, they don't even have to fire a shot. They just kind of breed us out of existence because our family sizes are getting smaller. Their family sizes are getting bigger. I get that. Yeah, an Arab grocery store, CVS is becoming an immigrant hospital. All 3 gas stations on Route 20 are Arab owned. 2 car lots, 2 repair shops, smalls owned. We are disappearing fast. Well, right, because we're not having 10 kids. They are. And of course, Erie's not a sanctuary city because, they keep saying that over and over and over again. We are not a sanctuary city, which, yeah. Okay, let's go with that. They just don't say it on paper because it's an easier fight. Okay, well, that's why they're winning elections because we can't get out and vote. People poo-poo the mail-in ballots. Go ahead and poo-poo them. You're gonna poo-poo them right out of office. And of course, I have to really kind of push back on Joe Natale a little bit. He had Dean Pepicello on the show, and Erie County got shellacked. No, he didn't. That was not a shellacking. We lost 1 seat. We lost Brenton Davis' seat, which has been kind of held by a Democrat. Anyway, all the city races weren't going to go red. They weren't. The mayor's seat wasn't going to go red. Here we go. Mr. Caleb, you are live, sir. How are we doing out there in Albion area?
Doing well. On my way back, trying to beat the blizzard.
I was going to say, how's the weather your neck of the woods?
So far, nothing. So, but I'm actually on the road right now, driving legally with my talking to my phone.
It's not a video phone, sir, so we don't even know what you're doing with your phone. But thank you for that clarification. So yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, you're always welcome. You sent me a text about getting on the show.
Yes.
I haven't told the people I probably won't have a show on Sunday, so we opted to do it Wednesday. So the floor is yours, sir. What do you want to talk about?
Well, if I may, I'd like to open with my prayers to the family of the guardsmen who were murdered today, and just for the whole Trump administration trying to, and those folks assisting him, trying to enforce law and order in our country. What a tragedy this is, and what a heartbreaking situation that we have so many within our own land who are so motivated by hate. So may God be with us.
Yes, thank you. And I know you did. If you're on the road, you didn't see it, but our opening was, of course, my standard opening, and then of course we had a little video about the National Guard emblem, and of course they're sending prayers, and of course just kind of the update from the FBI director on where they're at. They're kind of flip-flopping on the news about if these gentlemen, men or women, we don't know yet either, if there are fatalities or not. They said yes, but now they're saying no. So,
wonderful. That's good to hear.
No, and I totally agree with you. But again, plan for the worst and pray for the better. So,
right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. On the road, I've just picking up little bits of information here and there as I travel. But so then we'll just add prayers for their recovery then as the priority. Right. Well, thank God for that.
And they did catch the bad guy. And the bad guy does have another entry hole, so that's good.
At this point, yes. Let's enforce the law.
Yes. So what big plans do you have going on that you want to talk about?
Well, early vote action. I am the Erie County coordinator for early vote action, and we did our post-mortem, I guess you would say, like a lot of us did after this last election. Not the result that we wanted across the state, not even close to the result that we wanted here in Erie County.
Correct.
So we took a hard look at what our strategy was, what worked, what didn't work, and obviously there wasn't a whole lot that got us to put into the what worked pile. So what we seem to keep facing here as Republicans at large is, I believe, one of the primary challenges that we face right now as Republicans, even on the county level. We are just so far behind by election day that it's becoming impossible for us to catch up. Now, obviously, some of that has to do with just the poor turnout that we had, but things seem to keep happening on election day to make our turnout struggle. You know, a perfect example is what happened in Chester County. This didn't affect us here in Erie, of course, but the entire independent block of those registered as independents, they were dropped off the voter rolls. Even though they were registered to vote, they just didn't show up in those little books that those poll workers look at to show you who's registered to vote. Those names simply were not there on election day. So, I mean, thousands of people, I don't know exact numbers, but thousands of people in Chester County were unable to vote on election day outside of using a provisional ballot, and then they tried to extend the voting hours. I think what we're learning, Brian, is that what we should have embraced already, and that is, if Democrats vote for 3 weeks and then we leave it all for one day on election day, it's just too tempting of a target for people who like to drive down Democrat turnout, and the math just doesn't work. So what Early Vote Action is focusing on now is growing our early voting block. Whether that's voting by mail, which I personally don't do. I'm uncomfortable putting my ballot in the mail, but it's better than nothing. Or voting early in person at your local county courthouse. We have a turnout problem. We have got to make it as easy as possible for as many of our voters as possible to get the vote in. So to that end, we are mobilizing now to get our base voters here in Erie County and our voters who have expressed interest in voting early or who have voted early in the past. We are getting them signed up to vote in both the primary and the general election early right now, the 26 elections. That is our focus. We want that base covered by the end of the spring so that we can spend the true election cycle times, the summer and fall leading up into the midterms, actually growing our voter block.
And I agree. The last couple of years, I voted in person early.
Right.
When I was on county council, I knew election day is absolutely, like, as a council person and a board of elections person, we're supposed to be there. I didn't see any council people down there. I really didn't. My reports were they didn't even show up. The chairman didn't show up. The Democrats didn't care. They knew that they had this in the bag. They put a good game on, and off they went. So I vote in person early. So on election day, if I get tripped up, I'm done. My vote counts, and I just can't seem to move that over a little bit. Bill just typed in the room. We need to get rid of mail-in ballots. That's not going. That's not going to happen until we get a new governor and we get a new, House, a Senate that can move this stuff. I mean, it's not mathematically going to happen. Even if it passes, Governor Shapiro won't sign it, and then to try to get him to veto it out. Good luck. You'll never get 2/3. No way. So it's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
No, we're stuck with it. We have to deal with it. We have to embrace it. If you had to plug your nose and go, ooh, stinky poo poo, that's fine. But we have to look at the end run. And, I'm not a big fan of the mail-in ballots. I know people that use them and they love them. There has been problems. Look what happened last year. I mean, they had a huge problem with the mail-in ballots. And that's fine. So go down and vote early. It's that simple. Or you find someone you can trust, like myself, Caleb, Kim, Brenda. We will get you an affidavit. You sign the affidavit. I'll drive it down there for you and turn it into Miss Fernandez herself.
Brian, I'm an analogy guy. I like to cast things in a different light whenever possible to try to wake people up to realities as I see it. Right. So picture you have an infection, right? This infection is obviously it's worked its way into your system. It is the present reality of your body. And the doctor tells you, well, you have to take some pretty strong antibiotics to
Yeah.
get rid of this infection. And you tell the doctor, no, just get rid of the infection. I don't believe in antibiotics. Get rid of the infection. What's the doctor going to do? He's going to look at you and say, if you want rid of the infection, you've got to take the antibiotic.
And some of those
That is kind of how I think of the mail-in voting. I agree. I would love to go back to that same list that I hear pretty frequently myself when I get pushback on this issue. I would love to go back to single day voting, voter ID, paper ballots only. That is the best way to secure the election. But I have yet to hear a practical, realistic plan to get there without increasing Republican turnout.
Right.
And the best way to increase Republican turnout is to make it easier for Republicans to vote. We need as many opportunities, as many days as possible to get our Republican votes banked into those boxes there at the courthouse, because Democrats are doing that. And we have proven throughout several election cycles that we cannot beat them on election day without having a strong early turnout. That's history.
Yep.
That we've all lived that. Now I understand that that's uncomfortable for some folks, and I'll be honest, it makes me feel a little weird sometimes going to vote early and leaving my ballot behind at the courthouse there. But I don't get to choose the circumstances. I only get to choose on how I'm going to try to be successful in those circumstances. This is the reality, and we need to embrace it as Republicans.
And we don't. We're just going to keep getting losses, and then I don't want to hear about it, because we've given you the formula. We've explained to you in every which way we humanly can to
Right.
do this, and I get that. I don't trust them either. I don't particularly like them either. I'm still not very happy with Doug Mastriano and the crew that put Act 77 into play. And I see a lot of people say, we need Doug Mastriano. Listen, if it wasn't for Doug Mastriano and his shenanigans, we wouldn't be having this conversation. They sold their soul for a little bling and thought they got a win, and they got a big loss, a huge loss that we're paying for every single day. When he ran for governor, of course I supported him. He was the Republican guy. But now I won't support him because he doesn't have a plan to get us out of this, and I won't support him.
We have to be realistic as Republicans. It simply comes down to that, and complaints aren't a solution. I understand the frustration. I really do. I really understand the frustration that people have with the system as it exists. So let's try to fix it.
Oh,
Let's try to fix it.
And I agree. We've spent a lot of money.
Right.
I know the local party has kind of dropped the ball on a lot of issues. We didn't have people like you and Charlie Kirk and his organization really, have their heels dug in to address this in Pennsylvania. I mean, Scott Pressler, he's running around this countryside, doing the best he can, but he can't make you vote. He can't. He can only give you the tools to get you to vote. But again, we still can't get people to get out and vote. And
that's what we're focused on here at Early Vote Action, giving people the tools to get out and vote, which in this climate means signing up for a mail-in ballot, and then we highly recommend that you vote early, probably in person. But we also are there to give you the tools to help other people find those tools as well. And that's one of the things that, I mean, I believe that most of your listeners, Brian, have listened to you long enough to know the reality that we face right now and how important, probably not all of them, but we're allowed to have differing opinions. That's one of the things that MAGA is beautiful, that is so beautiful about MAGA. But I know that most of your listeners know the reality of the situation that we face. And I know a lot of them are becoming more and more open all the time to voting early. And I'm encountering that as I'm talking to a lot of good people who have volunteered with Early Vote Action in the past. We have an opportunity here. We have this loss really smarts, right? But when people when people lose, sometimes that's when we learn more than when we win.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Well,
I like to think that this is an opportunity for us. I know you and I get frustrated sometimes, trying to beat that drum, be that voice crying in the wilderness, so to speak. But we can do this. We can fix this. It's not too late yet.
well,
It's not too late,
it's not brain surgery. It's not. It's just
thankfully.
a little philosophy change.
Right.
And again, I know change is hard, and I get that. And that, just we have to embrace the technology. We got a lot of good comments in the room. I know you can't read them, but I mean there's some good comments coming in here, and we need to change that philosophy because we won't flip Erie red ever with this
Right.
same philosophy. It's not going to happen.
Right.
That's why, I don't know if you heard me, but Joe Natale was talking on his show that, oh, we got shellacked. No, actually we didn't, because the simple fact that we got a black eye and I got probably a little bit of a nosebleed here on that election. But I'm talking, there's other things that happen throughout the state that were shellacked, but not here in Erie County. City of Erie wasn't going to change. The mayor wasn't going to change. It really wasn't. We kept Steve Oler, out here, good solid Republican, Charlie Bale, and he got like zero support. I mean, zero support from the local Republican Party. They didn't even put him on social media as recommended. I can't control who controls their social media, but Charlie Bale, he did that all on his own. We promoted his ad here on the show. He stood on his track record. He lives in a good area, and they did challenge him. Usually he walks through the park with the breeze, but I was nervous there for a little while on his race. Then fortunately there wasn't a ton of ballots, mail-in ballots put out, so he was able to really catch up quick with in person, because what did they do? They got out and voted. Well, the rest of the county doesn't. I know. What do you remember? What was the turnout rate? I heard 44%. Is that the number you heard for Erie County?
Some of the numbers that I heard were even a little lower than that, but they were usually in that ballpark. Yes.
Yeah, I heard 44% overall. I mean, that's Democrats and
Oh, okay.
Republicans.
I
Yeah.
see. I see. Yes. That sounds right.
And then, someone's arguing with me, like, well, no, we got a 39% turnout rate in the Republicans. No, if we had a 39% turnout rate and only 44% of the people came out and voted, we would have won. No,
Right.
I don't know why he's coming up with that number. The number I was told was only 17% of Republicans got out and voted, which sounds about right. Because let's do some quick math here. 44 divided by 2 is 22. Okay, we didn't get 22% of the vote, or 23. We would have won. So it has to be less than 22%. I'm going to go with 17%.
Right.
And that's why we lost. And look at these school board races. They come down to literally a handful of votes. Literally. Mike Pace. Try to take that Jack Lee out there. Good guy. I don't have nothing personal against him. I'm not a Democrat. I wouldn't vote for him. But I mean, I like hanging out at the motorcycle rallies with him and talking about our bikes. But I don't like his politics, and that's how I try to do the differences, and they've tried to get him out, and they've literally lost by a handful, literally.
Yep.
Not just like, oh yeah, handful, 12, 10, 5,
Right.
like this. So you have a training thing coming up. Am I
Yes.
Am I getting that right?
Yes. That's what, if I go back to what you said just a few minutes ago, that philosophy change, that's what we're working on. And if any of your listeners are interested in this philosophy change for themselves, or in trying to help other people get to that philosophy change where they're willing to try something new because what they've been trying isn't working. Thursday, December 4th at 7 p.m. in Edinburgh, Early Vote Action is getting together with some previous volunteers and some new ones to talk about how to get this ball rolling. How do we get our base voters, to start with the base voters of people that people that you're comfortable talking to? How do you talk to them about voting early, and how do you get them signed up now to vote early so that we can pursue the new and different voters come the true election season. So that's Thursday, December 4th, 7 p.m. in Edinburgh. I can give you the address. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Just read the address off to you here.
Yeah, I have it. You go ahead, read it out. And like I said, it's on my social media. I have your event page
Yes.
forwarded.
Yes.
Maybe if Brenda's really good, she can put the address out there. Is that someone's home or is that a business?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
I Googled it up and I'm like, that's someone's house, but that's okay.
Yes. It is somebody's house. You know, we are grassroots, Brian.
I totally get it.
And she's an amazing volunteer with a lovely home. And if we're packed in tight, all the better. So the training is going to be held at 120 Bow Drive. So that's Bow as in like the old fashioned phrase for boyfriend. Beau, Bow. 120 Bow Drive, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, 7 p.m. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to be learning a little bit about how to, well, not to be too dramatic, but how to save the last 2 years of Donald Trump's presidency, how to avoid impeachment by winning some races in these midterms. And how we're going to do that is by cutting into that Democrat early voting lead.
Yeah. Do you have a zip code off the top of your head? Someone wants to put in their GPS, they're going to need a zip code.
For Edinburgh, oh boy.
If you don't have it while you're driving,
I do not.
Don't worry about it. It's
but you should, yeah.
It's on my Facebook page.
Yes. The event is on. I created the event on Facebook and invited you, Brian. It's you can find me on Facebook, just Caleb Landis on Facebook, CALEBLANDIS, and you can find the information there.
And what time?
Rats. I wish I could remember the zip code, but I can't. However, if you Google the address, it should be able to find the zip code for you.
Yeah, I just throw in Edinburgh. It'll come up, but sometimes you throw in a zip code, it works out. Brenda literally just typed it across the message board here, so it's actually
nice.
Actually written.
Brenda's the best.
She is. That's why I married her. She keeps me because she's smart. I don't know about that, but hey, it all works out. But yeah. So other than someone said I think it's 16441. But
sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds. Let's go with that. Thanks, Ms. Sheridan. Appreciate that. As I said, I got a good
7 p.m. Thursday, December 4th.
Oh, Brenda just typed in 16412. So she was close.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's Brenda. She just typed it in 16412. So again, she
cool.
listens and she types in and puts messages up and types in the room and stuff like that. So any other closing statements or what how long what time's it start again? 7
p.m.
7 p.m. and
7 p.m.
Yeah, so do we need to bring anything up? Bring a pad, a paper, some pens?
No. Just bring yourself.
Okay.
I have everything that we'll need.
Okay.
We will get you signed up for your early voting, and we will teach you how to, it's a pretty simple form, but we'll walk you through the form. And then we'll talk a little bit about how to have this conversation with your friends. And after you're successful with the people who know and trust you, you'll see how easy it is. And then we'll really get you hooked. And before you know it, we'll have you calling total strangers trying to saving the last 2 years of Donald Trump's presidency. If I can learn to do this stuff, you certainly can.
Yeah,
it actually ends up being a lot of fun once you become successful, and it's meaningful work. I mean, we know what's at stake for our country, and I tell you, it means a lot to have the opportunity to be able to do something about it.
Yeah, especially our country, our state, our county, our townships. All these elections matter, and people just go, whatever. Someone else will vote. I'm too busy. I did my nails. Sorry, my hair's wet. Well, if you would have done it earlier, you wouldn't have had this problem. You got to go downtown, find a parking spot. I totally get that.
Well, you don't have to. You can drop it in the mailbox if you want to.
Yeah, or you can get a hold of us, and we will have a stack of affidavits with us. All you do is sign a quick affidavit. I'll staple your affidavit to your ballot. I will walk it down to a box full of them with Miss Fernandez. As long as we have that affidavit that I'm allowed to handle your ballot or whoever, and we will get that. We will get it mailed for you, or I'll just drop them off at the courthouse. I don't care. Stop by and see the folks.
Yeah, there are when you sit down and think about it, there really is no excuse for something as simple as voting. Think about what folks like these National Guardsmen are going through right now
Ugh.
to preserve and protect our ability to vote. And then there are folks like myself and you, Brian, and many others who are eager to make it easy for you. We can do this.
Well,
We can do this.
Well, just look at that knucklehead that wants to run for governor in California. He wants to be able so you can vote on your phone. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. No.
I want it to be easy to vote, not easy to cheat.
Exactly. We have that video coming up later. But no, thank you, sir.
Sounds good.
We appreciate it. You know, your information's out there. Like I said, I have your picture up. Everybody's looking at your big smile in front of your tent, of the early voter action tent. The red.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I smile big at those tents. That's for sure. It's because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Gotcha. Oh, we appreciate your time, sir. If you're done driving, I hope your trip was good. If you're still driving, be careful.
Almost home.
All right,
and
sir.
I will be.
All right. Reach out if you need something.
Thank you. Thanks for having me once again. I'm looking forward to the future.
All right. We'll talk to you. Shank out.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go, Mr. Caleb. Early vote action works for Scott Pressler and the gang. So, Brenda, what kind of videos we got up on deck?
Vote by phone. Vote by phone. Yeah. If we can do our taxes, do our, make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online, you should be able to vote by phone. Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy. Also, as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that a person has to wait longer. We have to be better, not just a little bit better than the other states. The DMV. I don't think Californians should have to go in person to the DMV anymore. I think we can do that virtually. I think you can have the DMV employees do it virtually, but that's a lot of real estate.
Is that the most popular position?
Digitize the DMV. Digitize the DMV.
Today? Yeah.
We can modernize the state, and I look forward to bringing these ideas to Californians.
Yeah. Go online and get your CDL license like they were doing in Philadelphia. That you have to do them in person, and they still figured out a way to cheat. So other people could take your tests for you and just hand them out like bubblegum cards. And well, like in Pennsylvania too, obviously, because we had that same problem here, and where we had a guy on the terrorist watch list get issued a Pennsylvania driver's license, real ID, CDL. I can't make this stuff up. Kim called while that video was playing, so I'll call her back.
Good evening, Brian.
Hi, Kim. You're live.
Hey, got some good stuff. First off, I want to give a big shout out to Miss Melanie Brewer and wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, for those of you that don't know Melanie, she's our go-to person when we're running a campaign. She's a real mover and shaker, and she's the district manager for Mike Kelly. So, she puts us in touch with the people we need to know.
Yeah, she's forgotten more than we all know.
Yes, and she helps with the luncheons once a month and everything. So she deserves to have a happy birthday, especially after this last election. And she's already gearing up for the 26th election.
You got to put things forward. So yeah. Oh, now that you called, I want to make sure, because you told me to remind people. Remember to thank all our first responders, police officers, firemen, firewomen, EMTs, EMRs, paramedics, that are all out working tonight to make sure that we are safe.
Yes. We got some good guys, but we see them flying by, and whenever I see them flying by, I say a silent prayer for them. But it's nice to remember that while we're out celebrating our holidays, they're still working so hard. And an extra special one, and this hits close to me, being a Blue Star mom and aunt. Let's all say a special prayer for all of our military that can't be home safe and sound with us.
Right. No, I agree with you. Just like the beginning, just our prayers to our I don't know. They haven't identified our soldiers yet. If they're men or women, we don't know. So just send prayers out to everybody because we all need them.
Right. And that one hit me hard. Some joyful news, and I want to say a special happy Turkey Day to everybody and to all those ladies getting ready to go out for the Black Friday rush. That's a good day to save. So December 2nd, Mike Kelly will be having a town hall, for us older people that are on Medicaid, Medicare. We get really confused, especially with a 1,000 phone calls saying it's time to requalify. It gets very confusing. So he'll be having a special town hall meeting, and you guys can watch that via Zoom on the Facebook, or you can join in. And I posted that on my Facebook, and I believe Brian's got it up on his Facebook too.
Yep, it's all there.
Yep. And then for those of you that were running for office or have your campaign finance accounts still open, that paperwork is due next week, December 4th. So I want to put that out there.
Yeah, don't forget that, because it's a $20 day fine.
Yes. And then
they don't play.
Right. And those of you that actually want to go to it, December 6th, Karen Curley is putting on a ugly sweater Christmas party at the Republican headquarters, and I told her I would put that out there. And I think we might be doing something with our group as well. But also, I want to remind every one of you that Caleb's idea is great. We're actually going to pay some people to actually implement that project as well. We will be hiring some people full time now, because it's a full-time job, to call people on the phone, get them registered for their mail-in ballots. And the big important part is the follow-up. We got to call them up. Hey, this is so-and-so from the Republican Party. We want to make sure you received your mail-in ballot. Have you used it yet? Because a lot of people receive them, but then they never use them. They sit on the table or they end up in the garbage. And this is the most important part, guys. We had so many mail-in ballots that were out last year, and people just never used them, and they didn't go to the polls and vote.
Oops. Yep, that's all factors. They know how many they do that. They watch the data. They know how many Republicans requested them. They know how many Democrats requested them. They know how many Democrats returned them, and they know how many Republicans returned them. So they track all that data is available, and the Democrats watch it, and they know that we're weak. And you know what? We kind of are. So we got to kind of fix that.
Right. So, I'm so glad Caleb has already started this, and, we can get a handle on this now. And I also want to remind people, I'll be at Caleb's meeting. So anybody interested in joining the local Republican Party, we welcome you with our arms open. We're going to have a lot of fun fixing this. We're going to have a lot of great social events. And, with Brian, the Shank, the tank at the helm, our local GOP will be heading in the right direction. We'll be active, we'll be seen, and we're going to have a lot of different committees. And I know there's something that you guys can do, to help us out, whether it's a small thing or a big thing. They all add up, and we will be a great working tool for the future candidates. And I think we can make sure we win all these races in the coming. So anyways, have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you guys all next Wednesday.
All right, I'll talk to you. Bye. Yeah, that was nice and quick. I said, okay, we got a gas, so we got to keep it close on the short side. So, Brendan, what do you got? What do you got?
Please stop by our new website at botgwithbrianshank.com.
Yep, we're still in the buildings process. We're going to get some more stuff up there. We'll take some stuff off of this show. Brendan, just go right into Trump's
In less than 1 year, we've accomplished more than most other administrations have accomplished in 8 years. And this is a very special Thanksgiving. We thank God for his many blessings and the great success that this country has seen in this short period of time. We draw strength from the love of family and friends, and we express our undying gratitude for the men and the women of the United States Armed Forces. We love them. We pray that peace and prosperity will continue to bless our land, and together we'll really just keep this great drive going to Make America Great Again, MAGA. I think it's the greatest expression in the history of politics. Make America Great Again.
Boop. There she is. I forgot to push the button back on. So yeah, I mean, real simple, right to the point. There was a longer version of it, and he was talking about how Joe Biden, you know, it's tradition the president pardons two turkeys. Well, of course, Trump being Trump said, well, you know, Joe probably used that auto pen to pardon the turkeys. So guess what? Their pardon's not legal. So that's okay. I turn around and pardon them the right way. So yeah, I mean, Trump being Trump, and you love him or you hate him. It's hard to find middle ground, but at least he can put a sentence together. Yeah. So this is we talked about this one earlier. It's called Brenda titled it the bat signal, and it is the gospel, and this is exactly where we're at today. And unfortunately, with the things that are unraveling in D.C., this is exactly what's happening, and especially with our 6 former military. Oh, you know, we were talking about the one female that was a CIA agent. She was also an officer in the reserves. I was reading that today. So she's not, I thought she wasn't in the military, but most of them are. But yeah, it looks like the Captain Kelly is going to be potentially brought back on active duty for a court martial. We shall see. Brenda, please.
When you say we're at war and you must do anything you can to make certain that we protect our democracy, that is a bat signal to crazy people. When a Democrat leader says that President Trump is Hitler or a Nazi, it's a bat signal to crazy people. When the media, for example, in my state, the Cincinnati Enquirer, said that after President Trump was almost assassinated, much like Charlie was, that he brought it on himself, quote unquote. That sends a message to crazy people. When the Cleveland Plain Dealer, the largest newspaper in Ohio, analogizes J.D. Vance, our great vice president, your friend, my friend, who we know personally, and says that he's a Nazi sympathizer, that he reminds the editor of what it must have been like to be with Nazis in the 30s. Sends a bat signal to crazy people. It puts us all in danger.
Well, and that's exactly the strategy and the tactics they're using of nothing but just, if you keep saying it enough and long enough and hard enough, people will start to believe it. And that's exactly what they have done. You know, it's just like, you know, what Hillary Clinton was I think the grandmother of the whole thing with calling everybody deplorables. And they just keep upticking it, where the deplorable thing, like, yeah, that doesn't work, you know. And then of course, then they, you know, garbage man. Well, that whatever, dude. We started selling toy garbage trucks with Trump on it. Well, then they figure, well, this stuff isn't working. So let's start calling people Nazis, because Nazis are the real scary people. Dude, we are not Nazis. And these crazy people that think we are the ones that you really need to be watching. And obviously, we shall see who the person was in D.C. Got to be careful on Facebook. I'm on double secret probation as it is, so I have to be careful. I don't want to get in triple double secret probation with them. But they just gave me a warning, and I'm like, okay, sorry. So yeah, let's see. This one, absolutely pay attention to. Liberal fatigue. I love it. Great video.
You know what I have, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the world is starting to have it too? Liberal fatigue. Because their platform is genuinely one of the most vile things I've ever seen in my 24 years of being on this earth, and yet they still feel justified going around giving everybody else a moral litmus test that they themselves can't even pass. Their platform is built off of things like dismembering children and praising terrorists, and then they wonder why they don't really have the credibility, and then that results in them having to throw a tantrum with their mob mentality when you don't say and think exactly like they do. And it's getting pretty tiring. And it's why so many people are starting to leave the movement, even people who were staunch Democrats their entire lives. President Donald Trump not only won in a landslide against terrorists, but we took the House and the Senate for a reason. And that's because Americans are saying enough is enough. We have real, actual issues going on right now, and you're crying over misgendering somebody. You're crying over an illegal immigrant actually being deported, and you think that I'm going to sit there and care about that when I can't even feed my family, and then you want to tell me that I'm the problem? It's why people are giving so much backlash to people like Chapel Roan and Rachel Zegler, because they are the embodiment of liberal privilege and entitlement, and we don't want it anymore. You don't even understand how privileged you have to be to think the way that the left does, to think that the United States of America is really a third world country, to sit there and cry that they're oppressed as women living in this country when there are women who have absolutely nothing. So we are sick and tired of the lecturing. You could take your moral high ground and shove it where the sun don't shine, because we don't want to hear it anymore. You guys have proven time and time again that you know how to do absolutely nothing other than cry and use scare tactics to force people to speak on things that they're not even educated enough to talk on. You know how to crash an economy, right? You know how to let illegal immigrants into this country where they rape and murder women, but when it comes time to actually honor those victims, all of a sudden you want to be silent, even though you're the movement of believe all women and let's champion women's rights, and we don't even feel safe to walk at night, and you want to sit there and try to tell me that I'm not a good person? Yeah, save it for somebody who cares.
Woo! Wow, there is hope for this this next generation. I saw that video Brenda put out there. I'm like, ooh, she's a little firecracker, but it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. But the problem is, it's funny to watch these internet reporters, because now we have the internet. We have people that can go live, record it, do a podcast, do Facebook, do Rumble, do X. They can get their voices heard where they didn't have that opportunity before. They were actually interviewing the youth, and like, well, why don't you like Donald Trump? Well, he's a Nazi. Then the guy goes, could you define what a Nazi is? No. Or the one gentleman they interviewed, he was, he had all this big wall, these big fancy words up there, and what Trump is. What felonies was Trump accused of? Nothing. They just get their talking points from the talking heads. Like I said on the show before, the people the puppet masters, the Soroses, and the people with the money that run this country, to sit back and say, okay, we need a new problem. It's just like these 6 traders that decided to do a video. It's amazing. They didn't do that under Biden. They didn't do it under when Trump was elected the first time. And then you got, Miss Jasmine Crockett up there, just spewing her stuff, and she's dead wrong. They catch her being dead wrong. Well, I didn't have that information. I was misinformed, and I don't understand. Lady, you're a lawyer. You're supposed to be a lawyer. And that fake accent is just disgusting. You go back and you look at her interviews when she was running for office. Man, prompt, prim, everything. Now she's, there's some funny videos on TikTok about people impersonating her. I mean, absolutely hilarious. So yeah, we gotta, we want to kind of like, we expect to show on Wednesdays and Sunday. Bill, that's why we did that. That's why we were doing shows on just Wednesdays. And then people are like, well, they're too long. All right, so we cut back. Sunday seems to work. I'll have to let you guys know. I might not have a show on Sunday. I might be out of town. That's still up in the air. I haven't confirmed that yet. I will let you guys know about that if there's a show on Sunday. I told Brenda, if I'm not here, you just do it. She's like, nope, no. I said, let's just pre-record it. We can pre-record it and play it. We just can't take any calls or anything, but that's the same show. So we're going to go ahead as our favorite, Bill and I's favorite local talk show host. Scott Bremner used to say at the end of his show, we're going to go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. It's
No,
coming
you're
in.
forgetting the last video.
Yeah, I'm saying we're bringing it in for a landing. And I was going to end up with a nice video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, relax. Yeah, I see it up there. Feel good story. It's right there. Boop. Yeah, so like I said, I'm bringing this in for landing so we'd end the show off with something positive. I know there was some negative stuff, unfortunately, about our soldiers. We had to take care of that because I think it would be, as an Army veteran and a member, former member of the National Guard myself, I would be, I'd be sad if I didn't say anything. Take your equipment to out of town. I could do a live, Bill. I could take I'll have my phone with me, of course. I could do a live one. Maybe we'll look at that. Sunday night I'll be if I have to go down to Pittsburgh, I have to go to Pittsburgh. I probably stay down there a couple of nights for some stuff I got to take care of. I don't know. Maybe we'll look and see if we can do that. It's not a bad idea. So now we're going to end it on a good note.
And Traverse County, Michigan, the incredible rescue and the incredible bond between a dog and her owner.
Is that him right there?
Michigan State Police Officer Cameron Bennett's responding to a 911 call. A 65-year-old man had fallen into an icy lake. His dog, Ruby, right next to him. Ruby on the ice, and she knew that her owner was in trouble.
I got a rescue disc. I don't know if he can get a hold of this disc or not.
Officer Bennett's rushing toward the man, the officer's body cam capturing the whole thing.
All right, you ready? I'm going to see if I can get this to you.
The officer throwing a rescue disc, but it doesn't reach the man. But the quick-thinking officer has an idea. Perhaps the man's dog can help.
Send your pup here. Will she come to me?
The man in the water telling the officer yes, his dog's name is Ruby.
Ruby, come here. Come here, Ruby.
Officer Bennett attaches the orange rescue disc to Ruby's collar.
Collar.
The dog's owner in the water calling his dog's name, and watch, Ruby running toward him with the disc.
Get a hold of that disc. Kick your feet back. Bring your feet up to the surface by kicking your feet.
Officer Bennett begins to pull the man out.
Keep pulling on that disc. Pull. He's out of the water.
A firefighter also on the scene crawling to the man, Ruby staying right by her owner's side.
Just stay right on your belly. Give me your hand, stay right on your belly.
The officer and the firefighter both grabbing the man's hands and taking him to a waiting ambulance. Tonight, both he and Ruby are now home and doing well. And tonight, that quick-acting officer, Cameron Bennett's grateful for the assist from Ruby.
Come here.
The only other tool I had was Ruby. She knew Dad was in trouble, and she knew she had to do something to help, too, and she could. He was in the water for approximately 16 minutes. It is a miracle that everything was as good as it was.
And so we choose that officer, the firefighter, and, of course, Ruby. I'm David Muir.
All right, everybody. That's our last story for tonight. Thank you all for coming out on this Thanksgiving Eve. I hope you guys have a nice, blissful day. Watch the weather. Be careful. Don't go out doing crazy stuff if it's bad out. Hope and myself, we belong to fire departments. We don't want to have to come rescue you, pull you out of a ditch or something unless we don't have to. Again, please have a good evening. Special thank you to Brenda for everything she does to keep the show together. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We had some great conversations. We had some great text messages. Caleb came in. If you want some more information, look up Caleb or go on my Facebook page. It's all there. Once our website is up and running a little bit better, we'll gingerly push you over that direction. And for more information on that happy note, Brenda, outro video, please.
Fight has never been clear. Take a good look in the mirror and tell me what you see. They throw their stones to silence people, build up their walls to celebrate evil. Destructions are what they seek, and they got their man Charlie. But like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this this is war. One bullet, one shot, but don't be mistaken, they took out a life, but united a nation, and we are not afraid. We rise up against those demonic forces who kill and destroy, but forgot who our Lord is. Standing strong and brave, the sleeping giant waves. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. They took out someone, a dead husband and son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. They took out someone, a dead husband or son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. And they created a martyr that day, like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will. He lived without fear. Oh, like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. It won't disappear. Now the whole world hears. So let me be clear, Charlie, we got it from here.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday night with us. Again, I will let you know about Sunday. Probably, maybe, sort of, kind of. Again, special thank you for Brenda for everything she does. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Stay safe, stay dry, stay warm, and I'll catch you on the other side. Shank